All right. Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church here in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, want to begin by giving our praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As always, continuing in the spirit and theme of prophecy, which is custom here at Great Millstone and is heavily promoted through the prophets, damn near ad nauseum, pretty much. And although that spirit, being the spirit of prophecy, has been normalized amongst the hearing, well, it's still nothing to gloss over or take light. Why? Because possessing this testimony is actually a form of power. This is really spiritual power. We possess spiritual power right now. What do I mean? Well, when you consider the word, which is power, is likened to a seed. And as we know, a seed doesn't stay on the same level. So we're not going to continue to just teach forever until the next couple of presidents are sworn in and we fizzle out, or like the civil rights movement or any of these pro-black movements, as it were, which pretty much fizzled out. Well, this is going to morph into power, unspeakable power. But it starts with this word. But ultimately, there's going to be a point where the Most High is going to manifest his power through us. Or what's that, the book of Psalms 110? I want to say, thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. So this is nothing to gloss over. Although we speak of prophecy, it's often pushed to the forefront. This is the mainstay, the staple, if you will, the benchmark of the ministry, and is overall normalized at this point. Again, we can't take it light because we are in a seat of power by possessing this word. Seeing that we have been made privy, if you will, to the secrets of the Most High. And that's pursuant to the book of Colossians. What's that, Colossians, the first chapter? Matter of fact, let's begin with that. Baba Kashab, we can pull that, set the stage with that. Because you have, the Joe Rogans of the world and different people out there who might mention the scriptures, but yet they don't understand. And not just that, even when you go back throughout the ages, prominent men, our forefathers, they wasn't exposed to the things that we have been made privy to. You see? All right, come on out.
Khan, the book of Colossians chapter 1, verse 26, it reads, even the mystery which have been hid from ages and from generations, but now is made manifest to his saints.
See that? So mysteries that have been hidden from ages is now being made manifest. And this is the setting. You have the internet, and in particular the YouTube. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Let's click on that word mystery.
Okay.
Yep.
The word mystery, it says hidden thing, secret. It says general mysteries, religious secrets, confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals.
Right. So that proves right there that what we possess is a form of spiritual power, because it wasn't delegated, if you will, or entrusted to ordinary mortals, meaning what? Those who operate in the flesh. See? But only given to the initiated, which is the prophets, who would in turn relay those mysteries to you believers. But it says to the initiated and not ordinary mortals, which will mean we will be immortal. This is the first stages of immortality. Or it tells you that in Sirach, the 19th chapter. Matter of fact, let's continue out.
Fine. It reads, a hidden or secret thing,
Mm-hmm.
not obvious to the understanding.
Right, not obvious to the understanding. Case in point, when we speak about the microchip, although that's cut and dry, so to speak, but yet it remains a mystery. It's not obvious to the understanding of mere mortals. Again, those who operate in the flesh. Although it makes all the sense in the world, which we know a lot of you Israelite leaders out there to fulfill biblical prophecy, you took that bag because you could buy a nigga for cheap. They know it's proof,
Right.
yet they push it with a lot of distortion. The lines is blurred, and some guys just teach way off the mark. Oh, no pun intended. They off the mark with it. But overall, their concept is not obvious to the understanding. Why? Because the Lord stripped you. He blinded you from seeing it. Come on.
Con, it says a hidden purpose or counsel. It says secret will of men of the Most High, the secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly.
Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. You know what I want, right? See that?
Yeah.
So again, we just been involved in this thing for so long, in a sense. I don't want to use that term, but every man according to his or the scriptures say, every man, is that 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter?
In his order, or something like
every
that.
man in his order. So it might be a long time to you or a short time to you might not apply to the next man. As it were, we are all rooted and grounded in some capacity in this. So it's been normalized. You hear that word prophecy so much in this hearing. We go into the prophecies, but you can see the science behind it. It's like we under a spell. If you only knew how powerful this was and what we're dealing with. This is the Most High, directly the creator of all things, heavens and earth, dealing with you. How can I make a statement like that? Well, if you entertain these teachings, right? If you subscribe to future events, or what's that, Wisdom of Solomon?
Yeah.
The 8th chapter. If you subscribe to future events, being filtered through the Holy Scriptures and the testimony of Yahweh Shai, that means you're in the presence of Yahweh Shai. Because again, that's his testimony. So if this piques your interest as it relates to the kingdom of heaven overall, and the downfall, the overthrow of America, our enemies going into captivity, the liberation, if you will, of Israel being manifest through the elect, the return of Yahweh Shai, if these things are on your bucket list, so to speak, that means you're in the presence of the Most High, man. See? And that's in the book of Ecclesiastes, the 5th chapter. All right, so come on.
Khan, this is the book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes, chapter 39, verse 24. It reads, as his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked.
See that? And that's pretty much the definition we just read for mysteries. You see? Matter of fact, let's go back to that. What we teach is plain to the holy. The word holy symbolizing those who are separated, who have been set apart from the world and been called out of darkness into this marvelous light. But they remain stumbling blocks unto the wicked. That's why you could be good as gold, if you will, according to the standards of this world. But if you scratching your head concerning the prophecies, then that thrusts you into the stratosphere of being wicked. All right, come on.
God, the definition, it says the secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous.
See? This is how the Most High deal with the righteous. It's through a counsel. Come on.
Which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly.
See that?
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what we just read in the Apocrypha. So again, what we have been exposed to is the Most High. This is how the Most High chose to connect with Israel once more here in the latter days. The bridge, if you will, would be the spirit of prophecy. That's why Scripture speaks of how the Most High is pleased with what? The foolishness of preaching. And we know that word preaching translates to what? Prophesying. So this is the work of the Most High. What's that, St. John, the 6th chapter?
That's it.
See? Oh, you got some up?
Con, yeah, I got something real quick.
Yeah, come on.
Just going back, you mentioned being in the counsel of the Lord. And this is how we show that we part of the counsel of the Lord by bringing forth that counsel. Let's get that real quick on Jeremiah 9.
Yep.
And 24 it reads, but let him that glory in this, that he understandeth and know of me. Down the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai will exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. And if I may, just going back to the point, dealing with the counsel of the Lord, and this is how we express that we know the Lord, by going and expounding on his secrets, man. The things that the Lord has revealed unto us, we're revealing it in the open. That's Scripture says, he before these things spring up, he tell you of them. And that's done by the prophets, But that's how the Lord do it, by sending forth his prophets, and the prophets, expound on that counsel. That was pretty much it on that.
And you know what, Baba Kasha, can you get the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, the Unspotted? Because, and we're gonna get into the topic, the subject matter, which, by the way, as you can see, the title of this sitting right here, it is even a time of Jacob's trouble. Very heavy time we in. The time of Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to make his presence felt. Oh, through drama, right? That's how the Lord introduced himself as well. Hey, because it's like this. The scriptures say, to the forward, the Lord will show himself forward. Right. To the righteous, he will show himself righteous. So seeing that he's all power, he is, well, from this spectrum, he's showing himself merciful to the elect, the believers of Yahweh Shai. But on the flip side, he's showing himself to be a threat, so to speak, to those outside of the circle. And this is what's about to take place in the planet Earth on a high scale. Even though, what's that? Is that on Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter? Tells you how daily the Lord's judgment is brought to light. Meaning you could turn on the TV and you hear of someone being shot, put to death in a horrific car accident or whatever. That's the Lord making his presence felt. But there are certain moments, as it relates to prophecy, that the Lord has promoted, in the time of Jacob's trouble is one. That's going to be the Lord really introducing himself to the 2/3. And we in those times. We in the time of Jacob's trouble, in which we got a little information we're going to bring out to support that. And as always, filter them through the scriptures. But before we go there, come on.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7 and verse 26, it reads, for she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High, and the image of his goodness.
Right. So, like you mentioned, the Lord expressed himself through us, in a sense, by us proclaiming that we know the Lord. Or even the elites mention that in the book of, is that Wisdom of Solomon 2?
The 5th chapter or something, I think.
It might be the 5th chapter. Yeah, I always get them mixed up. The Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 5.
Yeah.
But the elites reasoning amongst themselves, they came to the conclusion that there were certain spirits in the earth who would profess that they know the Most High.
Yeah.
See? And that's us, man. Because we don't shy away. It's not a thing of, well, we'll see we telling you what's about to happen through the Spirit. So that's the influence of the Most High radiating through us. Let's read that again. Huh?
Con. It reads, "For she is the brightness of the everlasting light,
Mm-hmm.
the unspotted mirror of the power of the Most High."
Right, which a mirror is a reflection.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lord is manifest through the prophets. How about that? And there's a science behind that, because the Lord sent us forth as insignificant. So it would require faith for you to even entertain us. If you don't have that element, you're going to scoff, you're going to talk shit. It might be brazen. You might do a video, or it might be subtle. A nigga might, in his mind, walk by the camp and say something. See? You have to be of the elect. And the Lord pretty much cut off any avenue of you willing yourself into that position. You have to, have the certain components. Or it tells you that in when you read, I want to say that's Colossians 3, around the 12th verse, it gives you the checklist of the elect and their attributes. All right, come on.
God, and the image of his goodness.
See, and the image of his goodness. So this is the image of the Most High, the prophets. See? When we display our vexation for this place, that's how the Most High feel. See? We curse this place out. That's why it's thus said the Bible. Scriptures refer to the scriptures really as the witness, seeing that it's Yahweh Shai. What's that? St. John, the 7th chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get a precept, that's the Most High himself bearing witness. See? Matter of fact, continuing is up.
God. In being but one, she can do all things.
Mm-hmm.
And remaining in herself, she maketh all things new.
See that? She maketh all things new. So that proves that these pastors up in these churches, they don't have the wisdom that emanates from the Most High, because they speak of the here and now and keeping things in the state that they are. Like paying off your mortgage, being a good husband and father, sending your children off to college, and pretty much remaining a permanent fixture in America. So that means they don't possess this wisdom. This wisdom we have maketh all things new. That's why we speak of a new kingdom, a new system in the earth, new management. Go ahead.
And in all ages, enter into thy holy souls. She maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets.
Come on, man. She maketh them friends of the Most High and prophets. So now we see what true wisdom look like. It will manifest in the form of prophets. When I mentioned that earlier, Wisdom of Solomon, the 8th chapter, concerning future events.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't come in that spirit, you're not a friend of the Most High, man. What Noah? Noah was in that spirit. See? Come on.
For the Most High loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom.
Come on, man. And that love ain't emotional like you humans, you mortals. No, that love is really cemented by this wisdom. The binding contract that binds us with the Most High is wisdom, man. Matter of fact, let's get that. I mentioned that earlier, Ecclesiastes 5. And as promised, we're going to get into the lesson, but the spirit, right? Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and start at the top.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 1, it reads, "Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High."
See that? Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of the Most High, proving that this is not a level playing field. You here to be prepped and groomed, to be adorned. When that happens, that means you have to sit still, man. Oh, what the scripture say? Be still and know that I am the Most High. Now, we're not saying that you won't ask questions or whatnot, but when you come into the house of the Most High, then there's certain regulations, and we're going to see what it is. Go ahead.
and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil.
Right. So if you don't hear, the opposite of hear is you spewing out. You know, you got these scoffers that come on the coming board, they talk, but that's a sacrifice. You putting your life on the line. That's the sacrifice of a fool. Go ahead.
Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High.
Did y'all catch that? Read it again.
Be not rash with thy mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and let not thine heart be hasty to utter anything before the Most High.
So how are you before the Most High? It's through the ministry. See? That proves that that's that unspotted mirror. We the reflection of the Most High. We his ambassadors. You know what give you a glimpse into that? Remember Solomon, King Solomon, when the Queen of Sheba, the Sabians, right? She came to visit him, and she thought that his doorman was him.
Right.
See, because he was an extension of Solomon. All right, go ahead.
Khan, for the Most High is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore, let thy words be few.
So hold up. How can you be in the presence of the Most High? How can you utter anything before the Most High when He in heaven? Well, simply put, when you come into the house of the Most High, that's coming into this gathering. See? And here, you are in the presence of the Most High. You know, compliment the comment I made earlier. If you subscribe to these topics concerning the world to come and anything that fall under the banner of prophecy, that means you're in the presence of Yahweh Shai, which what? Brings you into the presence of the Most High. Remember, Yahweh Shai is the door. See? So, you got anything up?
Allah.
Yep. So, yeah, let's segue into what we got.
Khan. Let's see. This is from the NPR.org, and it reads, Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act again. What is it? It says, President Trump on Thursday threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to suppress protests in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
A week after an immigration and customs enforcement agent fatally shot a 37-year-old Minneapolis woman.
Yeah, and if I may, right, you know, this guy came out. I don't know if it's in this article or not, but he came out early and said, "Look, we can suspend the midterm elections. Ain't none of that. Why? Because the Most High. Oh, what's that? Proverbs the 11th chapter. The hands of. Right. Matter of fact, can we get that real quick up? I know we kind of bouncing around, but what's taking place in the earth is all calculated. And that's why we're speaking about it, because it was scripted. As we go into the prophecies, it shed light on the things that's transpiring here in the earth. So what's taking place with Trump, you see this this spirit of anxiousness with this man, desperation. These devils, they're doing nothing more than following the script. They're under the control of the Most High. And we just here to narrate it. And I'm going to say this, man, for all of you out there, remember it was a moment, you had the momentum of these guys saying there's no Jacob's trouble. We went through Jacob's trouble and chattel slavery. We came over here into captivity. That was Jacob's trouble. Now you in the kingdom, nigga? That what you saying? Because the nigga can, right? They can go to happy hour when they feel like it's all over. No, it's just beginning. See? And we got the characters on the scene, which, you know, we all know that there's Nero. Nero had a deep hatred, a perfect hatred for the Christians. The Christians is nothing more than the Israelites. And you're going to see with this swarm of activity is nothing more than a smokescreen. The prey is you tribes. That's who to prey, man. See? And hence the cunning hunter. Because a hunter sets snares and traps and jinns, and that blurs things. That's why you see the mouse go to the trap, because if he knew that that was a trap to kill him, he wouldn't never go.
Okay.
It's distorted. And that's why you got the Minneapolis, you got these psyops, you got provocateurs all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The bra who got shot, you liable to see her again, man. If you keep your eyes open, or remember the Sandy Hook, right?
Right.
The Sandy Hook situation, you had motherfuckers getting shot, right? And they popped up at another crime scene. Only this time it was the cousin of the. Oh, it show you
Right.
that in that remember the Twilight Zone.
I did that. That's true.
That was a classic, right?
Yeah.
It was the dream kept reoccurring. Just the faces changed, and they positioned it. Okay, 1 minute he was a judge, the next scene he was an inmate in jail. Yeah, so you got these devils, man. That's why he's the deceiver. Oh, the scripture speaks about through all deceivableness, right? So that's not just dealing with a particular pocket. No, that all means just what it said, all deceivableness. That's why you got Hollywood, which that go back to Hollow Wood, that one enchanting. So if they could set a scene, a prop, they have a backdrop, they shoot on location, they have the characters for a movie. You don't think they could do that in real time? That's what they do, man. But the scripture says the elect will not be deceived. All right, come on.
Come on, the book of Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will.
Right, that's why Trump said, look, we're going to just suspend the midterm elections, man. And I'm going to proceed forth with sending these troops, which those troops is a bunch of racist, patriotic, red-blooded Americans. That's why they keep their face. I've been watching a lot of them ICE videos, man. They just rolling up on motherfuckers at the gas station, was surrounding them. And the nigga, the assistant coach, the defensive coordinator for Florida State, right on, which they got a lot of them Israeli troops, and it's a lot of mechanisms that's going along with it. And we gonna bring out that information, right? You're gonna see where this thing is heavily spiritual, because Trump, he referred to them ICE troops that is a certain word that he used. If you spiritual out there, it should strike a nerve. All right, so yeah, that's all we need. Unless you got something.
I'm back in the article. It says the shooting death of Renee Maxon Good sparked protests nationwide against ICE. ICE's continued presence in Minnesota and across the U.S. It says protesters were further incensed on Wednesday evening when ICE agents in Minneapolis shot a Venezuelan immigrant in the leg during an attempted arrest. It says, writing on Truth Social, Trump said, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE.
See, the patriots of ICE. See that? Which that word patriot goes back. Matter of fact, you want to try some of that? Could we dig a little into that? See, and the brother just read it. See, again, when you walk in the light, when you under this vibration of the testimony of Yahweh Shai, everything falls under the banner of prophecy. That's why the brother just read that in Proverbs, right? And the king's heart. That's why he used that word patriot. Now, it might not give you that right here. It might give you of a more modern. This seems like a more modern sense of that word. If it don't, maybe we can go to the Ethamon, maybe.
Yeah, let me see.
Which that applies to, right? A patriotic, red-blooded American. But let's see what kind of the root of this word. See?
Con. Word patriot in the Edom online. It says compatriot. See, fellow countrymen. It says from of one's fathers.
Of one's fathers.
Hmm.
See, that goes back to the Edomites, that ancient, what's that, Ezekiel?
Yeah.
That perpetual hatred.
Yeah.
So you got these motherfuckers signing up for ICE because they just want to kill you, man.
Right.
And they just gave this broad, remember this Edomite bitch who was found guilty of breaking the bones of little Jake babies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she just got released, man, just off a bond. They gave her a bond. But why such incensed? Why such of a hatred? Because those are the same spirits. They're fellow countrymen of Edom. And according to the script, eventually Esau gonna raise up against his brother Jacob. The scriptures say, when the days of mourning thy father, then I will slay my brother Jacob. And who was their father? Isaac. Now, we know Isaac was Yahushua as well. When you view that through prophetic lenses, after Yahushua died, what happened? See? It spilled right into 70 AD and even up until now. Was anything else jumped out?
No, nothing ain't really jump out, but that Google definition kind of, that second one that says something about a missile, that kind of stuck out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the second definition, an automatic surface-to-air missile designed for early detection and interception of incoming missiles or aircraft.
Oh man, yeah. Come on now, that's crazy, bro. That's the sword.
Yeah.
Really, that's Cain.
Right.
Cain is another word for missile, and vice versa. If you spirit right, missile. So that's how we know. Oh, we kind of hinted at that, flirted with the idea of, and Lord we'll probably do it. What would Cain?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How would Cain's kingdom look, or something along those lines? What would Cain do if he was in power? This would be it. Because that word Cain simply goes into weapons. So you got weapons everywhere. The food you eat has been weaponized. The relationships, everything is weaponized. You see? Your job, whatever, is weaponized against you. That's why you had to come into this setting in which the scriptures liken to what? The armor of the Most High. So now we have a natural defense mechanism against the world of Cain. Yeah, but that's heavy. Oh, wow. Patriot goes into a missile too, man.
That's cold.
Yeah, that's cold. But again, let's go back. It's no coincidence why this guy Trump likened these ICE agents to patriots. Like, because why? He's controlled by the Most High. We just read that. The king's heart. All right, come on.
It says, I'm gonna read again. Trump said, if the corrupt politicians of Minnesota don't obey the law and stop professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE who are trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act, which many presidents have done before me, and quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state.
Yeah. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? I want to say that's Isaiah 47. Well, matter of fact, can we get that up? Is that Isaiah 47?
Okay.
It speaks about he trusts in his wisdom.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's get that. Because these different legislations and laws is nothing more than fighting words really against Israel. See, this is why the scriptures is known as the measuring stick. It's like viewing things through a lens which cuts out all the distortion. You see? Because you can have these Edomites up there raiding and rioting, but we know that ICE is really geared, they got their sights on Israel. Matter of fact, do me a favor. I don't know if you still got to pull it up. We was looking at it before we ICE with ethnicity.
Con.
Now, AI overview ain't down with us, man. It's not like they're in Great Millstone and they coming up with some shit to side with us. Come on,
This is the AI overview of what ethnicity of people do ICE target. And it reads, ICE primarily targets individuals perceived as being in the country without authorization, with recent data showing disproportionate focus on people from Latin America.
See, from Latin America, them the tribes, man. Go ahead.
Especially Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and Venezuela.
Well, they just shot a guy from Venezuela, according to the report.
Right.
And we know them Guatemalans, which Honduras, that's right on the border of Guatemala. If I'm not mistaken, if you look up at a map, it's right there. And we know that would be Zebulon. So they aimed at the tribes, man. That's who ICE was set up to come after. And guess what? That's under the orders of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. What's that, Ezekiel, the 7th chapter?
Mm-hmm.
The Lord pretty much threatened Israel here in the latter days. He's going to get you. The scriptures say for all of your, he will recompense you. And he's going to operate through his left hand. What better corporate to use, right? You want to put a hit on somebody. You say, I'm going to get the sword.
Right.
See? So we're in monumental times. This is the time where heavy tribulation is going to settle over here in America. You're going to see why America is referred to as the shadow of death. So yeah, I think that's all we need right here. You see they sprinkled a little distortion. That nigga brung up Koreans. Koreans.
Yeah. Somalia.
Yeah, Somalia. Them Israelites, if it is, right?
Right.
A Korean. No, you don't see no Africans being detained. No. And you're going to see the Southern Kingdom, they're going to get it, man. See? The Lord has jurisdiction over everything. You're going to start seeing strange. Don't be surprised if ICE roll up in one of those podcasts and grab a nigga. Hey, see, that's what you got to get your mind ready for. The Most High ain't tiptoeing around. It's not like the Most High saying, okay, that's Corey Holcomb, and that ain't got nothing to do. No, them going to be the guys. It's going to be a lot of the Lord thrust a lot of them guys into the public's eye so he can work. See? ICE coming there shooting first, man. It's going to be some crazy shit start happening, man. All right, so what you see Jake, right? Jake all into what happened with the nigga Daniels and Corey Holcomb.
Yeah.
See? They don't even understand the hidden dangers that lies out there, man. All right, yeah, so yeah, that's all we need.
Con. I think that was it on this.
Okay, cut.
This is another article from the Cannery, and it reads: Free speech absolutionist Elon Musk wants to criminalize speech again. It says Elon Musk, if you believe him, is a free speech abolitionist. The problem, of course, is that you believe him when he says that. You have to disbelieve him when he says anything else. and this is some of the tweets. And if I may, just going back, this is going to contribute. These are the different aspects of the hell that's going to come down, man. Because you can see this ICE, this immigration problem, and you got this problem over here, you got that problem. It's ultimately, you're going to see as we get close to the perfect day, it's not going to be no relief in sight. Because you can see now, this nigga want things that you say to be you be locked up, you know. So matter of fact, let me see.
If I may too, right? While you tracking that, yeah, that proves that we got the truth, man. Because we're in a time now where truth have settled in the earth. So we know who they gearing that energy towards. It tells you that in Revelation 12, I want to say 17. Well, ultimately they'll set their sights on those who have the testimony of Yahushua. What's the other one? They he who of perfect speech or something like that.
Yeah, kind of upright conversation. Upright. Yeah,
upright conversation. Yep, you got it out.
God, this one example says, first we should note that this is the post Musk was responding to. In 2022, 45% of high schoolers polled that they were taught that America is built on stolen land. In class, at school, damn. It says, and another 22% heard it from a dope there. And this was Elon Musk's reaction. Man, where it went. His reaction was to teaching people to hate America fundamentally destroys patriotism and the desire to defend our country. Such teachings should be viewed as treason, and those who do it in prison. So that's just one of those talking points, because really, you could have truthers to say that, but the Lord have the prophets to mention that and back it up with a scripture, man.
Right.
So that's who this nigga really just to beat around the bush. You know that broad statement, but really he's coming after a certain target. The nigga would fucking down a whole airplane to get one person. So these certain talking points ain't just because is damaging for people want to protect their country. It's the truth. That's what this nigga is trying to criminalize. It's going back, you mentioned that upright conversation.
Yeah.
And I got another article. This from the Daily Mail.uk, and it reads, Trump AG secretary sparks mockery with tone-deaf $3 dinner advice as food costs soar. Mm. So as you mentioned earlier, niggas tied up with two podcasters going at it. But you got these motherfuckers from Trump's cabinet telling you to get ready for $3 dinner advice, man. It says the agriculture secretary is being mocked after suggesting a bizarre $3 dinner Americans could consume. It says Brooke Rollins argued that even with the new inverted food pyramid, which the White House induced last week, and prioritize more proteins, vegetables, and fruit, there are meals that are affordable. It said meat, fresh vegetables, and fruits generally cost more than processed food. We've run over 1,000 simulations, he said on News Nation on Wednesday. It can cost around $3 a meal for a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, corn tortilla, and one other thing. So there is a way that actually will save the average American consumer money, Rollins argued. And of course, being in the obese country, of course she's going to get flack, and this will contribute to, talk about they should not regard their kings, because you got these maggots, and that's another reason why they're going to show their frustration to Jake, because Trump ain't doing what he promised and shit, right. But this is all part of that trouble, man, But that was pretty much it on these the articles and everything.
Yeah, and you know what? You had mentioned some earlier, how things gonna be coming from every side, pretty much, and the Most High gonna allow it. Go real quick to the book of what's that, Psalms? Is that Psalms? Oh man, I believe it's Psalms 10. Yep, Psalms 10. And start at the top.
The book of Psalms, chapter 10 and 1. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
Now, when it said, why standing far off?
Yeah.
So that means it's not going to be any safety net for Jake. The Lord going to be standing far off. He's not going to have a way out for you tribes. You're going to have to fall into your lot of succumbing to Jacob's trouble. See? So that's why the scripture said, why standing? Matter of fact, let's click on that. It might be a phrase, far off. See, the Lord allowing this. Yahweh Shai, he have set in motion. We moving into the next phase in biblical prophecy, man. See? And again, we often speak about it, but it's worth mentioning, noteworthy, as always. This is a privileged position to be in the faith, to believe in Yahweh Shai. Yep, come on.
They're saying afar off. It says remote, far, distant.
Right, distant. Someone distant themselves from you. They had the distance. What they call it? When you had the crown, you had 5 foot distance. You had to stay away from people.
At 6 feet, shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the Lord gonna do Jake.
Yeah.
The Lord gonna distance himself from you. You see? And that's gonna allow the Lord gonna operate through his left hand. This Jacob's trouble thing serious, man. How do we know that? Because the Lord promoted. Now, when the Lord promotes something, you think it's gonna be a letdown? Somebody might promote an album or a new song, and it might not meet expectations. You might say, it was a lot of build up, but it was all right. No, that doesn't apply with the Most High. So this Jacob's trouble, you can see it, how the Lord is placing all the pieces, and it's blossoming. It's going to be heavy, man. Yep, come on.
Distant lands. Distant ones. Distance, time. In the Strong's. Remote, literally or figuratively, of place or time. Far off, abroad, long ago, of old, space, great while to come.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Space. The Lord gonna distance himself. It's gonna be space. And that's gonna really be Yahweh Shai being distant from you. Because remember, Yahweh Shai the deliverer. So there's gonna be no deliverance. That's why the scripture said the Lord is nigh unto those. What's that? Is that Psalms 145?
Yep, that's it.
The Lord is nigh unto those who fear him, or something along those lines. Versus the 2/3, the Lord going to stand far off. See? So that's pretty much, let's go back here.
Psalms chapter 10, verse 1, it reads, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thou thyself in times of trouble?
See? So why? Because the Lord is the one orchestrated it. See? Go ahead.
The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Which I believe that word persecute right there. I believe that word is pursue. You want to check it out?
Yep. To burn. Hotly pursue.
Hotly. Right? So is someone hot on your pursuit? and it's driven by their anger. See, and this another luxury we have. We've been exposed to the nature of our enemies. We know they hate us, man. You got people out there. Or remember, what's this guy? He. A few of these guys, they look to Trump to be pardoned. I think Puff wanted Trump to pardon him. But we'll never think of such a thing. We know that's our enemies, man. Right? We know that nation of people really hate you. It tells you that in Sirach, the 12th chapter, how even if he pretend to help you, it's pretty much an effort to cover up a more sinister motive. See? So we're in a time where that persecution, they own Jake, they about to pursue Jake. Yep, come on. Oh, and that reminds me of 2nd Ezra, right? 16, the burning.
Yeah, that's it.
Burning
Kindle. I would say a burning. Damn.
Yeah, you know what? We probably can get that one. We ready to close up?
Con.
We ain't had no more articles, right?
Oh no, that was it.
Okay, con. So you see that word persecute, one of the words that's kindle and flame. Scripture speaks about how he puffeth at his enemies. That word puffeth means inflame. So this devil is smoke coming out his ears, man. If you want to get that real quick, I believe that's 2nd Ezra. I think it's the burning multitude or something like that.
Kind of book of 2nd Ezra 16 and 68.
Yeah, you know you jumping there as well.
God, it says, "For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you." And if I may, and that show you that's that Israelite talk, because even they would say hot, Jake hot, 38 hot, whatever, But that's the spirit of Esau. He got that perpetual hatred is actually in his DNA makeup to have that spirit toward us, man. Mm-hmm. And we seeing that this nigga got the military and even ICE. That's really just a fucking sect just to really to go after Jake, man, for real.
Yeah.
It says, "And they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols." And of course, this devil, we got these concentration camps, such as Alligator, Alcatraz, and they even spoke on other parts of Babylon where, depending on what region you at, that was certain animals gonna be the form of a moat, I
think they got bears and
yeah.
Yeah, if you up in certain you in upstate New York, it's bears up there for you.
That's this devil, man. Just going back to that burning wrath, that's that going back to that persecute,
Oh, it's like it. I think we touched on that as well too. How the beast of the field will be in league with thee.
Kind, yeah.
So even right, you see where it make more sense too. If they was to try to round one of the men of the Lord up and throw you in one of those prisons, well, the very animal that they try to, guard you with, you got to prepare. Again, we speak on it. We dealing with the Most High here, man. The Lord is out there. You got to be, that's what we've been groomed to experience the strange wonders of the Most High. Yep, you got it, bro.
God. And they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. And if I may, this is going to be the results of Jake, pretty much trusting in Esau, because Scripture talks about that as well. On your covenant with death and hell shall be disannulled. That's going to see Esau. He about to be destroyed. He know that, man. He ain't worried about niggas no more, man. He's trying to save his own ass,
Right. He gonna take out as many niggas as
right.
On the way out. And if I may too, right, when you read Revelation 11 chapter, it hints at Scripture say those outside of the temple will be given over to the Gentiles.
Right.
Where they'll be trodden for a period of time. I think it's 2 and 4 months. So that decree lingers So if you're outside of that temple, then where else you are? You giving over to who? The Gentiles, your enemies. So that's what the Lord going to do. The Lord, Yahweh Shai spoke about that. And Luke, is that Luke 19? Where he mentioned
oh yeah.
Right?
The
Since thou
I said these things have been hid from thy eyes,
right,
known to thy peace, something like that.
the things that belong to thy peace, but now they're hidden from thee. And ultimately, your enemies are set a trench about thee, which that happened, but again, that spirit lingers until the Lord call that back. It's out there in this realm, and you're subject to be taken by it if you're not protected. We mentioned it earlier. The arm of the Most High. You got to have that, which is really a mindset that puts you in the fear of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Yep, you got it up.
Khan, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Right, and you know what jump out right? The next cities, that right, that's a setting, that's America, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Insurrection Act, and pretty much is what to activate the federal militarize these different cities. See? So once again, you see where prophecy reigns supreme. What we're involved in is the secrets of the Most High. He allowed us access to it, and it should provoke a certain reaction. Now, we in a healthy spirit of fear. This is what the Lord desires, man, for you to fear him. That's why Yahweh Shai said, I tell you whom you shall fear. See, because that's the energy that the Lord desires of you. So now he'll protect you. Because fear is the really reverence is fear. You can't say I reverence someone, but you don't fear them. When you get to the core of reverence, respect, or whatever, it's fear. See? Or what's the saying? I'd rather be feared than loved. All right, so yeah, that's all we need right here. We can go back to Psalms.
Khan. Khan, back in Psalms chapter 10 and verse 2, it reads, the wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor.
Mm-hmm.
Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Right, and you mentioned it. They're going to be destroyed regardless. You see? But they're going to lick up a few crumbs on the way, so to speak. Go ahead.
For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth.
Mm-hmm.
The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, would not seek after the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Right. And the pride of his countenance really is interchangeable with the image of the beast. Because that's the height of his pride. Well, this man is looking to because your countenance is really your you know what? I think we never got that. That's the spirit. Go to that Isaiah 47.
God.
Trust in thy wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
See? Your countenance, that's what we just read right early in Wisdom of Solomon 7, where it speaks about the image of the Most High. So on the flip side, counter-wise, you got the countenance of the devil.
Mm-hmm.
You see? And I believe I forget where it's at. It speaks about it might be Sirach 12, but that countenance, that image.
Oh yeah, is I know exactly what you're talking about. He should change his face or something like that.
Yeah. That's yep. He should change his countenance.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
that's interchangeable with the image in a sense, because we know, even though we got the beast that spilled back from the Roman Empire, but then it narrows down to this system. That's why you have the mark of the, see? And because if you have a beast, right, you come and say, oh shit, right? You show the scar. That scar is linked to, that's a lion bite, you see? So right, that mark, you people gonna be, yeah, that's of the beast. You see? All right, come on.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 10, it reads, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none see of me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it have perverted thee.
See?
And thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me."
Now, if you can click on that word wisdom, and this is why everything is being militarized. You see, oh, we mentioned it, right? How would Cain's kingdom look? Yep, come on.
Wisdom, skill in war.
The skill in war. And even when you go more into it, right, it says wisdom and administration. That's something to keep in mind too, because this system, the efforts of the so-called white man staying in power is to tag you. So that's going to be administered. This is the wisdom. When he came out of his think tank, he came out with martial law and having you chip. See? So yeah, we can go back. Oh, just like if you look at the bad guy in a movie, when the authorities closing in on, the first thing you do is grab a hostage, man. So that's why you see, right, this digital prison where he's trying to hold you hostage, you know? Because he's going to go out guns a-blazing. What do I mean? It's going to be missiles. Esau's story going to end crazy, man. Right? You niggas talk about shootouts and gangsters. Okay, you're going to see. You're going to see who the real fucking missiles being shot throughout the world. That's how he going out. Come on
out. Back in the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 4, it reads, "The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, would not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for his enemies, he puffeth at them."
And who is his enemies? His arch enemies is Israel. See? Come on.
"He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity."
Yeah, this man think he's going to continue to rule.
Right.
See, you know who is in his way? Jake. That's why when you go back, you got to go back to the humble beginnings to make sense of all of this. What do I mean? Well, when you read, for an example, Isaiah 46, the scriptures say the Lord declared the end from the beginning. So when you go to the humble beginnings, it was Jacob who stood in the way of Esau. That's why he said these guys rightfully named. He supplanted me these two. So here you go again. And through subtlety, once again, right, the birthright is being supplanted. Because Jacob, what the Lord entrusted us with? Wisdom. So you see the perfection of that subtlety of Jacob. And it is once again supplanting, you know. That's why with the Elon Musk shit, he said, look, we got to put a stop to these guys, you know, because that's Jacob through subtlety.
All right.
See? Go ahead.
His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Right. Because he said some 37-year-old Edomite got shot. Look, man. In the spirit, right? What was in the same article? A Guatemalan it was a Venezuelan got shot, man. So again, we know who he. Matter of fact, continuing is up.
God, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages.
Mm-hmm.
In the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
See that? So that's who he's gearing up against, the poor, man. See that? Is there anything to jump out to you in this up? Any more? Or
I got that verse says he live and wait, and
Yep.
secretly as a lion in his den, he live and wait to catch the poor. He
Mhm.
doth catch the poor when he draw them into his neck.
Yeah, so that proved that that's Cain. and you know, most notable Esau, who was Cain regenerated. Because why? Esau was a cunning hunter. So you see, Esau perfected because his seed pretty much is a manifestation of who their forefathers are. So now you see these devils laying snares and traps and whatnot. But the sight is set on the poor, man. And again, you got Jacob, the Lord put a heavy spirit of what the scripture speaks about the Lord putting a spirit of slumber.
Yep.
So Jake, we mentioned it, Jake preoccupied with what happened with Corey Holcomb, right? Some crazy podcasts and some new trending dance. Jake really don't understand. That proved that the element of a snare is in the air. Right? No different than the prey, a mouse, you know, wobbling to the damn trap. So yeah, that was it in here, right?
God.
Yeah, I mean it's more in there, but we'll end it there. So yeah, you know, once again, we would be in monumental times. We're in a time, really, we're in the time of the return of Yahweh Shai. That was that Luke, the 21st chapter, where it speaks about the sea and the waves beginning to become unease. Why? Because the king is coming, man. So whenever you have, let's say like you have a military ordinance, you got you got a major, but then you have the captain to come in. What happened? They have to raise up and salute them. So Yahweh Shai coming. That's why you see things, right? So, you know, we're in monumental times, and you know, Lord willing, you know, the Spirit remain on us. The Lord keep us rooted and grounded in Him. Like Scripture say, "Blessed is he who watch daily at my gates." I want to say that's Proverbs the 8th chapter. And I'm gonna say it again in closing: this is the most privileged position one can be in. Not just physically here, but right here. The entry point is your reasoning. If you're in the spirit of entertaining prophecy and believing wholeheartedly in this thing, and ultimately, you know, you got the spirit of hope, in which that hope is driven by the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you can't ask for nowhere else to be. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers, to the next time, Shalom.
Shalom.